North, south, east and west, home is just the best. Nigerians in diaspora miss home, and once in a while they feel like eating from Mama Spots. This is the feeling that my colleague Modupe Odunayo got when she visited the UK recently. She came back with something exciting for you and I to enjoy. Hello and welcome to Guest Chef. My name is Teni Ajayi. Join us.
My guest today is Mrs. Stella Odunayo. She's based in the UK. Hi Stella.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Okay. Please tell us about yourself.
Well, welcome to my home, first of all. My name is Mrs. Stella Odunayo, like you have rightly said. I was born in Port Harcourt and raised up in Rivers State. I relocated to the UK a few years back. I'm a mother of children. I'm a teacher here by profession. I was a banker in Nigeria before I came over to England. I retrained when I came over here, and I'm now a professional teacher in England here.
Now tell us, you've been here for a while now. What do you miss most about home?
I miss a lot. I miss the weather. I miss my friends. I miss some members of my family, even though some of them come from time to visit us here in the UK. But I miss mostly the food, some traditional dishes that I used to enjoy then. I miss them here.
Now, talking about food, what is your favorite food or dish?
I have a lot of food I miss, especially the local traditional delicacies that we make in my state. But right now, the one I enjoy most here, that I really like to eat here, is the white food. We call it native soup. It doesn't contain oil at all.
Do you know how to prepare? Do you remember how to prepare it?
Of course I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know how to prepare it.
So can we get the ingredients here in the UK?
Very well, yes. Of course you can. There are some areas in this country where you have some Nigerian ingredients you can use to prepare Nigerian food.
Ah, that's nice. Then let's go to the market.
Mrs. Stella Odunayo hails from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. She obtained her first degree from the University of Uyo and proceeded to the University of Lagos for her second degree. She started out as a banker, but she presently teaches in the United Kingdom. Stella learned how to cook by watching her late mom, who had a restaurant. When she's not working, she likes to cook, shop, and dress up because she likes to look good.
How many years ago? I come out this from Bristol. You still recognize the place?
Okay, my guest and I are here in the market. This shop is an African shop. It's on Peckham High Street, and we're sure to get everything we need for our dish this evening. So come with me. All right, we're here to shop. And this is Iru, this is locust beans, and I'm surprised that we have this here fresh and still in this form.
Okay. Yes, fresh one, very fresh one. No, prawns. I want prawns. Prawns. Yeah.
Okay. The grounded prawns are there.
Yeah, this is ground prawns.
Hello, sir.
This is dry fish. It's been dried already.
Yeah.
We're going to use that. Ground prawns.
Okay.
Fresh Oziza leaves.
And I'm amazed these leaves are still as fresh and green as if they're just fresh from the farm.
Yeah, all I need to do is just wash it
Okay.
and slice it to the size I want.
Okay.
Those are small cubes.
Okay.
Do it the same way we use it.
Okay. Salt.
Salt for taste.
Yeah.
This is uba.
Okay.
Uba as in, you know when you do African salad?
Yes, I know.
That ingredient they use it's like locust beans as well, but this is sliced into tiny bits. Stockfish, onions, and this is fresh pepper. Still fresh and red like we have it in Nigeria.
Yes.
And ground achi.
All right.
Just for thickening.
Okay. So we're ready. We're ready and good to go. Okay, Mrs. Odunayo, we're back from the market and the kitchen is set.
Yes.
Tell us about the ingredients we got.
To make salad soup, the way I like it, people like it different ways. You need Oziza leaves, which is this. It's been sliced, washed and sliced, fresh. Because I'm going to use just fish, I have bought some dry fish. I've washed and cleaned it. You need some fresh pepper. I have sliced it with onions. I'm going to blend it later. You need some fresh prawns. This is ground dried prawns as well for seasoning, for taste.
Okay, that's crayfish.
No, well, the crayfish is different. This is the prawns, the bigger one, but dried one, and it's been ground already. You need some seasoning, and this is the locust bean, the iru. I like the flavor, so I add a bit of it into my own soup. And for thickening, you might need some achi. Some people use yam. They pound it and just put a bit to thicken it. For time's sake, I've chosen to use achi, just a little bit of it, just to give it a bit of body, just to thicken it a bit, because it's supposed to be light soup. So I just sprinkle a little bit of this to give it a bit of thickening. And because I'm just using only fish, I've decided to add a bit of fresh fish to my dry fish. That's how I like it. Some people may just decide to cook only the fresh fish and all other ingredients without any other dry fish, but because I like taste, I like it to be rich, I add a bit of dry fish along with fresh fish. Different people have different styles. And for the Oziza leaf, some people may decide to use the pepper soup seasoning, like the nchamu and the seed, and blend. I like to use this because I prefer this flavor. That's why I use the Oziza leaves. For this kind of soup, we don't use palm oil.
Okay, that's why it's called the white
soup. Yeah, right. Native soup. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start now.
Okay. This is my water in the pot, already boiling. So the first thing I'll add, just to steam it a bit, is the dry fish that has been washed already into the pot, just to get it steaming. And I cover it to steam a bit. I leave it to steam a bit.
I noticed that dried fish has stockfish too.
Bits and pieces of stockfish, just for taste as well. The next stage of this cooking is to blend. I want to blend the pepper and the onions that I've already sliced to form a paste to add into the soup, just to give it some flavor. Yeah, so I'm blending now.
Now I noticed you added some iru to the onions and pepper while you were blending. Why?
Yeah, because I like to get the proper taste of the iru. If I had seen the iru pete, which is the iru pete, yeah. I would have not blended because it would have been mashed. Yes. But this is the iru woro, and it's a iru woro, yes. And it's one. I don't like it like this, so I needed to just blend a bit to get the real taste of the Iru in my soup. Now I finished blending. The next thing now is to pour it into the pot, which is already boiling. In it goes. And I cover again for it to steam a little bit. Cover it again just to steam it a little bit. I need to give it a bit of stir. The next thing I would like to do is to add a bit of the achi powder, so it will boil along with the fish and the pepper and all that to give the soup a bit of thickening. So I just take a little bit and just sprinkle it over the soup just to thicken it. It's a little bit of thickening. Remember I said earlier that some people like to use the boiled yam and they mash it and just use it to thicken. But because I didn't want it that way, I like it this way. That's why I'm using the achi powder to thicken my soup a bit. So just give it a bit of stir. After I've finished stirring, I just cover it up again for it to steam. Check how much it has steamed. You see the texture is thickening a bit because of the achi powder I just added. The next thing I would like to add is the ground dried prawns, just for taste as well. I like to put that early enough to give it a lot of taste. So that's it. That's about that. The next thing I want to put now is the fresh prawns or shrimp, as some people may call it, because I'm going to use a bit of fresh fish. This goes well with fresh fish. If it was just the dry fish, I would have used only the dried ground prawns that I had already put earlier. But because I'm going to use a bit of fresh fish, I like to add some fresh prawns just to balance it up. And I stir it just to give it a smooth paste. Stirring, and a bit of seasoning for taste as well. Yes, a bit of seasoning just for taste, and then you stir. Because the texture is okay for me now, my soup is almost done. The next thing I would like to add is the fresh fish, so it can cook a bit more.
I noticed that this dish has a lot of fish, plenty of.
Yeah, because I just choose to use only fish. Yeah. And where I come from, we eat a lot of fish. You know, we are surrounded by water, and we like a lot of seafood. If I was cooking this in Nigeria, I would have added some extra seafood, like the periwinkle, all the other seafood. I would have added to make it very rich, and it would have been richer than this. But because I'm here, all I could find was just the dry fish, because I want to use only fish. Sometimes you can use meat if you want to. Some people use assorted meat. Some use only chicken. Some use just goat meat. Some use the cow meat and different parts of ham and mix it up. But because I'm from River State and we like a lot of fish, you know, we're surrounded by water and we do a lot of fishing. So I like to use just fish for my one.
What about snail? One can also use snail.
Sometimes it depends on what I feel like eating. But this moment I just like to use. Sometimes I should use only the fresh fish with this, and sometimes I may just use only the dry fish. But for this purpose, I'm using the two, combining the two. So this is a fish recipe soup.
Oh wow, that's nice. Back home we eat a lot of kanda. You know what that means?
Yeah, momo.
That's nice.
Yes. Yeah, you can add that as well if you like. If you're making it with assorted meat, you can add the kanda or the momo, as you called it.
Is momo also available here?
It is.
I didn't remember. I would have asked
you. Yeah, it is. It's all frozen. Okay. Yeah, it is. We'll have it here. Now, because I've added my fresh fish, I will not be able to stir it again, so I don't lose my fish. I want my fish to come out in whole.
My mother taught me too that when you are cooking fresh fish, you don't stir like that, so they don't break into pieces.
Yes.
So you just shake like that.
It
Sometimes
and shake along with it. Yeah. So the only way I can only stir now is to shake the pot, just to make sure everything boils well together. That's a traditional way of cooking fish. Also, you don't pieces the fish. Fish is nicer when it's brought out in a whole. The last ingredient I'm about to add now is the uziza leaf, which has been washed and sliced. Because once I put it now, I turn off the gas because I like it fresh. I don't want it to turn black or brown. As soon as it goes in now, the soup is complete. I turn off the gas. Some people may like to use other types of spices or leaves for that, but I prefer to use the uziza leaf because I like the flavor. It has seed as well. Sometimes you can blend the seed and add to it, but for this purpose I just choose to use the leaf. So I sprinkle. You can see the color is changing. Cover it again and shake it. Remember, I'm not allowed to stir, and I shake along with the pot. So you see, just give it a bit of a boil and the soup is ready. Can you smell it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Now that the soup is almost ready, what's the best food to go with it?
Depends on people's choices. I like my eba.
Wow.
Some people may choose to eat this with pounded yam. Some may like to use with semovita. Some may like to use it with wheat, and some again may like to eat with the fufu. You know, the fufu is very nice when it's been properly done and it's nice and it goes in smoothly. But because I'm very conscious of my weight and what I want to look like, I have decided to use just the eba, the yellow gari, to enjoy my soup.
And the yellow gari is right here.
Yes, it's right here. We can get that as well. It's right here. I'm going to make it now and turn it and stir it properly and serve my soup, my family with the soup.
Okay, there's this called the one in the leaves, you know it.
You mean the agidi?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you can as well. If you can use that to eat it as well if you want. Yeah, it's all depending on people's choices. So I want to check again the final stage of my soup before I turn off the gas. It should be ready at this point. And there it is.
Wow.
All done. All done.
So nice.
All done. See? Here comes the white soup, my own way. Some people call it masala soup, but I call it the white soup because it doesn't contain any oil.
It's really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Now the food is ready. With-Stella is ready with eba, and I have here with me Constance, Buchi, and Emmanuel, and they're going to taste this food and tell us what they think. Now let me start with you, Emmanuel. What do you think of With-Stella and eba?
I think it's really nice.
It's tasty. How about you, Buchi?
It's nice.
And I'm so happy you guys are eating with your fingers like we do back home. Constance, what do you think of With-Stella?
Wow, it's yummy. It makes me remember my mom's kitchen. I feel like going back home to Nigeria.
It tastes just like home. I've never taken With-Stella. This is the first time for me to.
This is called touch of class.
Touch of class. I like it too, and we must commend Mrs. Odunayo. Thank you very much, Mrs. Odunayo. The boys are eating very well, and even Constance is munching. I'm sure they enjoy your cooking. Thank you for your time, and thank you for inviting us to your home.
Thank you, Mr. Odunayo.
Thank you.
What a nice meal.
You're welcome.
This is home sweet
Home away from home.
Wow, there's really no place like home. Thank you, Modupe. We hope you enjoyed learning how to cook ofe nsala, also known as white soup. Join us on another edition of Guest Chef. Take care of yourself and bye-bye.